Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, KU.
Hi, I'm Craig.
And I'm Corrine.
And we're a couple of Oregon transplants out here discovering the Midwest a little more every day and sharing it with you right here on the Corn-Fed Life.
Save me a piece of that corn. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Woo! In just a few short hours, the Kansas University Jayhawks will take home their 4th all-time national title.
All right. So we're really excited about that today, and they're going to be playing against the number 8 ranked, not number 1 like KU, but the number 8 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. And that's a really interesting mascot themselves. But we want to be all about Jayhawks because we're all about the Midwest.
That's right. And we've been wanting to talk about the Jayhawks. It was on our minds to talk about regardless if they made it to the national championship or not. We just figured since they did, this is a great opportunity to talk about the Jayhawk itself.
So it is a handsome-looking bird on a handsome-looking man, as you can see. And Jayhawk doesn't actually exist in nature. It's the combination of 2 birds from the Missouri Valley.
And what are those 2 birds?
Those are the blue jay. It's known for being a robber. It robs the eggs of other birds. And then also the sparrowhawk, which is known as a courageous and very intelligent fighter. So together, they, as robbers and fighters, they make up Jayhawks. And the term jayhawking used to be known as a marauder.
Right.
That was the general term known.
However, did you know that there is an alternate theory? So for those conspiracy theorists out there, the alternate theory is that some of the Irishmen that were part of the Jayhawks.
Yes.
We're not talking about the sports team. We're talking about back in Kansas history, which we'll get into in a moment. But some of the Irishmen claimed that such a bird existed back home in Ireland.
No.
They said that there was an actual bird, which, you know, I would think it's akin to how the Bigfoot exists up in the Pacific Northwest. But they swear that some of the Irish soldiers swore that there was this bird that was called the Jayhawk back in Ireland, and it was a merciless bird that would just strangle. They said it would strangle like a cat strangling a mouse or something. It would strangle its prey and kill it in a very vicious manner.
Ew.
So that's another theory of where the Jayhawk came from.
Well, so how it got to be known as the Kansan Jayhawk is back in the day, around the Civil War era, there was a leader, Charles Jennison, and he led a abolitionist regiment, and they called themselves the Jayhawkers. And they would raid Missouri, and they would wreak havoc on all the towns along the border, and they would free all the slaves on the farms there as well. And they were proud to call themselves Jayhawkers, and soon enough, all Kansans became known as the Jayhawks.
Jayhawks. And one early reference, they think this might be where the whole thing started. It was from a speech. There was a powerful speaker, warrior, and politician named James H. Lane. I want to read you a little segment of this speech. And this was, I think, they say one of the first times it was seen in print, the term Jayhawks, when they transcribed his speech. And this is what he said, which was pretty awesome. The speech was intended to just really rally the troops to drive the pro-slavery men from the territory and just to wreak havoc, like she said, on the pro-slavery Missourians. Missourians, Missouri.
No, I
anyway,
think he said it right.
They're miserable.
I was just like
either way.
getting down on them.
Just kidding. Anyway, so this was a little segment of his speech. He said, as an Irish Jayhawk with a shrill cry announces his presence to his victims, so must you notify the pro-slavery hellhounds to clear out, or vengeance will overtake them.
Oh my.
Jayhawks, remember, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, but we are his agents.
Yay. That's great. Okay, so we're talking about what is the mascot of KU. So let's let you know how the University of Kansas got established.
Well, the University of Kansas was opened in 1866 in Lawrence, Kansas, under a charter from the Kansas State Legislature. The site on which it was built was known as Hogback Ridge.
Nice.
Kind of funny they didn't end up becoming the Hogs.
Right. Oh well.
The land was donated by Charles and Sarah Robinson, some of the original settlers of Lawrence, Kansas, and today it boasts an enrollment of around of around 20,000 and contains law, engineering, and a medical school.
Yeah, that's pretty stout.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little about the chant, so we know kind of the history of where the Jayhawk came from. Where did the chant start?
I have no idea, but I bet you know.
So the chant was invented by the Science Club. One of the professors who was in the Science Club, of course, because an awesome sports chant would naturally originate from a science club, right?
Yeah.
And the original chant was Rah, Rah, Jayhawk, KU, to the tune that we sang at the beginning that you might have enjoyed.
Rah, rah.
And over time, it just gradually evolved at some point into rock chalk. Now, what is rock chalk? It's backwards. It's the reverse of chalk rock, which is basically is the name for limestone, which is found all over the KU campus.
That's what my dad used to like to gnaw on as a little child. He used to like to gnaw on chalk rock.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
So naturally, since they found chalk rock all over the campus, they would reverse it, they found chalk rock. They reversed it and said rock chalk, because that's what you do in Kansas, I guess.
Yeah, TIK.
So anyway, but the cheer went on to achieve huge fame worldwide, which how many college cheers do. Some of the things I found out was that Harvard, at some point back in the day, Harvard named it as the #1 college chant in the country. And then the famous president, Teddy Roosevelt, one-upped Harvard, and he said that it was, what did he say it was? Maybe I didn't write it down, but basically, Teddy Roosevelt said it was the greatest college sports chant of all time.
Yeah.
So he took it to another level.
Right.
And then it achieved fame apparently in World War II. Some of the pilots were painting Jayhawks on the sides of their planes. And not only that, but the chant was heard at different war times. They said it was even heard during the Boxer Rebellion in China. And then in the 1920 Olympics, the King of Belgium asked a consortium of American athletes that were at the Olympics. He wanted to hear, he'd heard that American colleges came up with great chants. So he said, I would like to hear an American college chant. And the athletes all kind of huddled together. And of course, the one they chose, yeah, they picked the greatest one, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. So that's the one they then performed for the King of Belgium.
So go Science.
And I know that KU holds a special place for you. Can you tell us about that?
It does. I had a mentor, a funny old guy, and we would work together, and we would sing at the top of our lungs, and we'd drive all the other employees nuts. at the place that we worked. It was like he was a special man, and he passed away a little over 11 years ago, and he really wanted me to go to KU to further my education and get into the program for my career. And he even gave me a special Jayhawk pen, and he told me, hey, man, I know the dean of that college, so you just write them. And he did end up helping me get into the OSU program, and I'm very happy that he did because I loved going there. But yeah, just having the memory of him, he would talk about visiting Kansas and going to the basketball games and the basketball championships. He was a big fan of the Jayhawks, and so that will forever hold a special place for me because I'll remember Bill when I remember the Jayhawks.
Oh, that's awesome. And I would like to point out the other reason that we are so sure of a KU victory today, and that is that Corrine and myself are sort of good luck charms. So while I attended, yes, you'll remember, when I attended college, I went to Cal State Fullerton, go Titans, and while I was there, they won a national championship in baseball.
Oh.
And while you, and then Corrine here, tell you attended OSU, Oregon State, and what did they do?
National championship baseball. I think it was like 2 times while I was attending there. Yeah.
So it seems like we're good luck charms. Whenever we go to a place, they win a national championship.
Yeah.
So just last year we moved to Kansas. So I feel like
baseball, basketball.
We have
this is the baseball of the Midwest is basketball, right?
So we have brought our good luck, and we are here to share it with the Jayhawks.
We're so great.
And then one thing I learned researching for this is that, so they have this beautiful guy that runs around at the games. And I should point out, they wanted him to have a smiling face because he's really happy about crushing his opponents. Because this mascot has undergone several revisions over the years, of course. And this is super important. He wears these yellow shoes. And the importance of a bird wearing shoes is because he wants to kick the enemy or the opponent. So watch out for some kicking going on today.
With his little claws?
Naturally, a bird wants to kick things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. And then I learned also that they're at the game, they have this guy, and they have the full big mascot. You have to be, I think it's 6'1" to be the mascot. You got to fit into this costume. But if you're short, if you're only 5'1", exactly, I think it's 5'1", then you can be Baby Jay. They have a little miniature one. This guy wears the number 1 on his back, and the Baby Jayhawk wears 1/2 on his back. And he's a little one that runs around and gets the fans all excited. So look forward to seeing the big size Jayhawk and the little guy. Baby Jay out there today. All right.
Excellent.
So we just wanted to take the time to share the background of the Jayhawks. We think it's awesome that they have a mascot that goes back to freeing slaves because that was a noble endeavor. And what a great mascot for a Kansas team.
Right.
And so we just wanted to talk about that and wish them good luck in the game in a couple of hours. So let's send them off with one more cheer.
All right, let's do it.
And sing it with us this time. Here we go.
Rock, chalk,
Jayhawk, KU. Woo! Go Jayhawks!
Bye-bye.
Bye. So we're parked out by the lake to let you know that if you liked that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you go to the description below, you can find a link to our online store where you can buy all kinds of fun corn-fed merchandise, like this one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Or if you want to go a step further and support us in our corn-fed endeavors, you can buy us an ear of corn or two by
going to patreon.com patreon.com/cornfedlife. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help support some starving YouTubers.
Thanks for watching.
Rock,
Chalk,
chalk,